What's up guys, Drew here. Welcome back to Starting Out Solitary. It is week 219 and we are discussing being outed as a witch and sort of what is the response in that situation. For me, this is really vague. There's no specifics for me to grab onto to decide how I would react and what to do in this situation. It seems to me that if I were outed, it would have to be by someone I was close to, someone I trusted, so that they had that information if it wasn't something that was just common knowledge. So I think the first thing I would have to do would be reevaluating my relationships and who I put my trust in. I think that I would take the time to journal in my gratitude journal. And I only gratitude in a gratitude journal when something bad happens, because I look and force myself to see things in the situation that I can be grateful for, that are to my advantage, whatever that may be, so that I might get a different perspective on what's going on. And so I would try to find that silver lining. For me, this is difficult because I would just be like, yeah, I'm a witch. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I'm not in the broom closet, as it were, so it's not really an issue to me. I don't really care who knows I'm a witch, but I have some perspective in dealing with people who are not comfortable with witches and paganism, and who genuinely think it's evil and want to either shun you or change you. I would honestly, if I were outed as a witch and it seemed like an uncomfortable thing, it was a negative situation, it wasn't positive, it wasn't good, that I would try to minimize it. Let's say I worked outside the home, I was outed at the job. I think I would try to minimize in some way. Like, I wouldn't get very specific about what it is I do or what it is I believe. I would be as general as possible. Examples being, instead of saying I'm pagan, maybe I would say that I am pantheistic. And for me, God moves through everything and is in everything. Everything is God, whatever. And try to leave it at that. If that wasn't good enough, they want to know, am I a practicing witch or whatever? Maybe I would talk about using colors and like candles of certain colors to correspond to a desire, or I might even word it as prayer, even though I don't consider what I'm doing prayer exactly. I think these terms can be interchangeable sometimes, and it's kind of arguing semantics sometimes. So, but I just think that if it were going to be harmful to me in some way, I might try to minimize the impact of what it was, rather than just straight up denying it and being like, no, that's not true. Which honestly, in that circumstance, if you are someone who is not open with your spiritual path because you will be judged and possibly like have hardships, have bad things happen to you as a result of your beliefs, then I don't see any problem with lying. It's nobody's business what you believe anyway. It's nobody's business what I believe. I'm allowed to believe whatever the hell I want to believe, and I can share that or not. So, if, for instance, in the job, I knew that there was a precedent that, I might actually be fired for my beliefs and I'm outed, I just might flat up deny it. No, that's not true. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, of course, if I have a huge social media presence and it can be backed up, that's a whole other subject. But if I'm trying to stay in the broom closet, I shouldn't have an obvious social media presence. That's kind of counterintuitive and kind of my own fault. I don't understand if this question is supposed to be me giving advice for someone who finds themselves in that position, but I don't really have any, because if I'm honest, if it were me, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm a witch, and be done with it. Because once you hit a certain age, you just kind of stop caring. I just don't have time to worry about what everybody else thinks and everybody else's feelings. I'm not going to go out of my way to be offensive and hurtful to people. But if you find my mere nature, if you find me being a witch offensive, that's your problem. I don't have time for it. Yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on the topic, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, much love and gratitude.